Damien ruins horror movies.
And here we go, another episode of Damien Ruins Horror Movies. I'm Damien. Today was a work day. I normally don't like doing these on work days because I'm tired. I like to record them on Sundays. So I'm driving home, and the walkers are getting out of hand. There's way more of them now than yesterday, and the day before, and the day before, and they're getting bolder. They're walking in the street. You take a corner in a neighborhood, and there's these walkers, and it's funny because they're like, "What?" And it's like, yeah. People still drive cars. You might want to scoot over. And there's bikers too. And you know, usually bikers, like they'll be in the road like a car, like they think they're a car, or they'll be in the bike lane next to it. So like all the cars always kind of go, whoa. People are walking like that now. And it's almost like people are like, hey man, if you get the coronavirus, man, just walk it off. Just walk it. Just walk along. And because the coronavirus can't keep up with you if you're walking. If you sit still, it'll get all comfy inside you. But if you walk, you don't have to walk fast. You just walk, just stroll. And you'll lose it. It'll fall right out of you. And the person behind you walking might catch it, but don't worry, it'll fall out of him too. If anybody's stopped, they're going to get it. I don't know. There's a lot of walkers out there, which is fine. Everybody's friendly, but stay on the fucking road, please. My shirt came a couple weeks ago from Gutter Garbs. My Night of the Living Dead Part 2. Let me see if does that help? My Night of the Living Dead 2 shirt. It's a comfy shirt. The design is nice and soft. It's not gonna. I still flip it inside out when I watch it, but it's not gonna crack and peel. It's not like you're wearing a plate on your chest. You know those kind of shirts. It's comfy. It's good. It came fast. I ordered it on a Friday, which I think is probably the worst day to order something. I think the best day to order something is Sunday, and then the order gets processed on Monday, and then you probably get it by Friday. Didn't take too long to get though. It took, I don't know, I think it came on a Friday. And it was part of the April Fools. That's how long ago I ordered it. I ordered it on April Fools, and I got it, I don't know, the following Thursday or something. I shouldn't say that because I don't know what day April Fools was. But there was a sale. They were having a sale, so this shirt only costs, I think it was like $16. And their shirts, they got cool shirts, but they're kind of spendy for t-shirts. You know, $27. Jesus. I always thought that if we got to a point, like I thought this as a kid, if we got to a point where you could order directly from a company instead of paying the overhead of the store and what the store has to pay the company, and then they got to do their markup, they got to do that. I always figure if we, like, I predicted the internet. I'm not saying I did that, but I always figured if you could order directly from the source, you would get everything at cost because you're buying it from the person who's making it. So they're like, all right, here. And it says like $27 for a shirt. I can go to Target and get a shirt for $12.99. Like most of my shirts that I wear are from Target that I paid $9.99 or $12.99 for. Usually $9.99 because I'm pretty cheap. But they have good shirts. And if you like them on Facebook, like I do, every time they have a sale, they prompt you and let you know, so you know when all the sales are coming. They do goofy sales, you know, like Labor Day sale, April 1st sales, Mother's Day, you know. Any holiday-like occasion, they're like, oh, we're going to take $10 off the shirt. It's not off everything. It's select things. But this shirt was pretty cool. This shirt might have been $13. I don't remember. I don't have the receipt. I don't care. After I buy shit, I don't care how much it costs. It's like when I'm making the decision where I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of Girl Scout cookies. Tonight's movie is Dark Night of the Scarecrow. Came out in 1981. It is a special request from Iris, who lives in Currensville, Pennsylvania. It was a made-for-TV movie, and it premiered on CBS shortly before Halloween that year, which explains, because I was watching, it's like, God, this feels like, it didn't feel like a horror movie when it opens. Like it had this, it felt like movies I watched when I was like 5, which I was 5 in 81, so it makes sense. Like, oh, that's why, because it was made for TV and it has that look. The film opens with Bubba, who is a 36-year-old mentally challenged man. He's playing in a field with a little girl who, I'm not sure how old she is. I don't know if they said it and I just wasn't paying attention. She's not that old though. She can't be more than 10. She's probably not even that old. I don't know, she's probably 9 or 10. I think the girl playing her was like 10 or 12. I don't know. She's young though, but mentally they are like, and they're singing little songs. And Bubba is played by Larry Drake, the same guy who would go on to play Dr. Giggles. But before that, he was on LA Law. He played Benny, another special mentally impaired person. Now, in real life, Larry Drake is not mentally impaired. He just has like the shittiest typecast ever, because that would suck. They're like, hey man, we got the role for you. I go, yeah. It's like, yeah, you got this look. It's like, yeah, you're very marketable. We got the perfect spot for you. And he's like, oh yeah? Mike, I have been working out a little bit. What is this? Like, we want you to play this grown man with the IQ of a 10-year-old. And be like, oh, not again. Why does this keep happening to me? What's wrong with me? Why do people think that I'm mentally impaired? Like, anytime in the 80s, they're like, we need a grown man to play this mentally impaired person. I know. Larry! Larry! So poor Larry Drake. I mean, he was probably pretty stoked by the time he got to Dr. Giggles. And I hate to admit this, I've never seen Dr. Giggles. Because it looks stupid, even though it's kind of like a classic, I guess. But I've never seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it. Because I bet you he was like, I finally get to play a smart person. This guy's a dentist. He probably didn't realize, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be a killer too? Fuck! You can't stop fucking me over! He's been in a lot of other stuff too. Those are just 3 that come to mind. This, LA Law, and Dr. Giggles. So while him and Mary Lee are hanging out in the field playing together, they're being spied on by the mailman. The mailman's name is Otis. And he's watching. He's got his binoculars. Like, he's got a sharp eye on them. And it's kind of like, well, that's creepy. Only thing creepier than this 36-year-old man hanging out with a 9-year-old, or whatever she is this even older guy who's spying on them with binoculars. Like, what's his deal? Hey, mailman, go deliver the fucking mail. Maybe that's why my mail's late all the time. I'm sorry, I have a bad history with mailmen and being late all the goddamn time, especially when I'm expecting something. It's like, oh, I wonder if it came today. Oh, what do you know? The mail hasn't gone by yet. Otis has an issue with Bubba. He hates him. He even takes it up with his friend Harless. Like, that guy shouldn't be playing with that little girl, and he's gonna hurt her, and this is just bad, and we need to do something about it. And Harless like, well, what do we do? He's like, I don't know, because I tried, and there's no getting through. Bubba walks Mary Lee home, and on the way, she threw a fence, a wooden fence, pretty in need of a replacement fence. She sees like this collection of garden gnomes, like a bunch of them. She's like, oh, I want to go check those out. And Bubba's like, oh, no, because Bubba has enough sense to know, it's like, just go in somebody's backyard and like start playing with their stuff. But she's like, well, I'm going to go just real quick. And she's like, I'm not going. And so he waits on the street, and she gets back there and she's checking it out. And all of a sudden there's a dog in the backyard who doesn't want to share the garden gnome experience, and it attacks her. So Bubba breaks down the dilapidated fence, and scene kind of changes, and he's carrying her home, and he takes her to the door, and he knocks, and her mom answers. She's like, oh my God, what happened? And he's like, Bubba didn't do it. And he kind of like hands her off and like runs off. Instead of, like, I don't know what the extent of his English is, or how well he can talk. I don't know if he's like a person that stutters, where it's like, I can sing fine, but when I try and talk, I'm like, duh, duh, duh. But hey, man, try and hang out and maybe explain what happened about the dog. Just even with key words: dog, gnome, backyard. That something instead of just fleeing. But I think he might have a sense because Otis has come after him before, and now something bad's happened. Like, because Otis probably came after him before and had like no reason to, and this is definitely a reason to, and it turns out to definitely be a reason to. Because in no time at all, Otis finds out about it, and it's weird because this is 1981, so there's not like, and granted, it's a small town, but it's not like they had social media and Facebook where Mary Lee's mom was like, "Oh my God, my daughter's in bad shape. I don't know if she's gonna make it." And then Otis is friends with her on Facebook, so he's like, "Haha, I knew it. Let's go down there and take care of this." But somehow he finds out, and he's like, "Aha, I knew it. I told you guys something was gonna happen." So he rounds up his little posse, which consists of him and 3 other guys. It's him, Harless, who I mentioned earlier, Skeeter, and Philby, and they're like, "Let's go get this guy." And they got guns, and they got dogs, and they drive. And it's kind of weird because they drive. They're like off-roading, hauling ass. And then they get out, and they let the dogs out, like the dogs are gonna lead them to Bubba. And they took the roundabout way because like Bubba has already gotten home. He talks to his mom. He's like, "Oh, trouble." And she's like, "Oh shit, we need to play the hiding game, Bubba. Just like last time, get out of here." And she sends him on his way. And so by the time the guys with the dogs come, which I don't understand, it's like, you're not on the hunt for him yet. You're going to his house. Why didn't you just drive to his house? You didn't need to stop. Nobody had to get out of the truck till you're in his driveway. Got these dogs that you're just wasting. They knock on the door. Bubba's mom doesn't answer, so they're like, "All right." And then the dogs like lead them. Because Bubba didn't go too far. Bubba went to the field out back where the Scarecrow hangs. And he's in the Scarecrow suit. It's not a suit, it's a Scarecrow. But somehow, in a panic, knowing he has he has very little time, he manages to get in the field, which isn't too far away, but he goes to the field. He takes the Scarecrow, pulls all the hay and whatever it's filled with, and it's not like there's piles of it around, so it's like, well, obviously that hay by his feet was once inside him, and now there's a person. He's got it all cleaned up. He's in the Scarecrow. He's hanging up. He's got straps on there. He's put himself in. Like, I don't know if he's hid there a million times or what, but he's definitely on the spot, and he pulls it off in terms of getting there. If I pretend somebody's following me home and I gotta hurry up and get my key in the door, I can't do it. But somehow this guy is in this Scarecrow suit. I mean, I can do it eventually. Not a complete scaredy cat, but somehow he's in the Scarecrow suit, just, and it's moving. It kind of looks like the wind's swaying it, but Otis figures it out. It's like, oh, he's in there. So Otis like pulls out his gun, pulls out his pistol, and shoots. And so the rest are like, all right, I guess we're shooting a Scarecrow. And they all shoot him. And now he dead. As soon as he's dead, Skeeter, his truck's nearby. Because I don't know, some ran, some Skeeter drove. Skeeter's lazy. But he has a CB in his truck. And it's like the sheriff saying, "Hey, the Bubba hunt's over. The girl woke up. It turns out she got attacked by a dog. You're not going to believe this. Bubba saved her." And they're like, "Oh, uh-oh." And so Otis takes a pitchfork from the truck. Because it's a work truck. He takes a pitchfork and like leans it against Bubba's body. He's like, self-defense. And then they walk off. So next scene, the 4 of them are in court. And despite there's 21 bullet holes in Bubba, but the judge still is like, "Yeah, you know, no probable cause, you know, I don't have a reason to think that you guys are guilty." Sam the lawyer is like, "What the fuck?" He's pissed. But, you know, the four guys, you know, Otis's gang. But Otis's gang is like, well, there you have it. All right. They're like high five. They're like, all right, let's go get some fried chicken. And they go to the pub and they celebrate. They're not like stressed out at all. They're kind of like, that's like, which is kind of funny because every scene after that, they're like, hey, don't be coming near me. We got to keep our distance. We don't want to look guilty. It's like, well, you guys high-fiving in the courtroom kind of makes you look a little guilty. Like you got away with some shit. Like the way you express your relief kind of makes you look a little guilty. This is where the timeline gets weird because Mary Lee wakes up and she's like, oh, what's happening? And she wonders where Bubba is. So she like sneaks out of her house. It's the middle of the night. It's dark. And she goes all the way to Bubba's house. And just walks on in the middle of the night, you know, like, hey, when is this little shit gonna learn? Stop going to other people's property, you know? You just got attacked by a dog. But like, when is this happening? It's like, did you get attacked by a dog? And then that day these guys went to court and were found innocent. They're celebrating and you're just waking up from the attack. Like, that's pretty quick, but whatever. And she goes there, and Bubba's mom finds her. And she's like, she opens the door, she's like scares shit out of her. You know, it's the middle of the night. And she's like, child! Which is funny, because Bubba and his mom are white. But for some reason, his mom talks like a black woman, like an old black woman from the 1800s. She's like, child! But she only talks that way to Mary Lee. Everybody else, she's like, I don't know, she talks normal and kind of mean, because the people she talks to in this movie, she doesn't like Otis. But she's like, child, we need to go warm you up. And she's like, where's Bubba? Oh, you don't know. And so it's like, great, I get to explain death to a 9-year-old. And so she's kind of like, well, child, he's in a better place now. She's like, well, when's he coming back? And she's like, fuck. Where he went. So I think eventually Mary Lee kind of gets it. The next day, everything's kind of gone back to normal. And these guys are kind of like, they're kind of like the bad guys, you know, the rapists from I Spit on Your Grave. Like, have they gotten a chance to get old? It's like, these guys are kind of the same way. It's like the days pass and they're trying to be nonchalant. They're trying to distance themselves from each other, except for, I guess they're not really, because like Skeeter and Philby are just like hanging out like nothing happened. Harless is at his house, just kind of like, I'm just going to farm. Wait for some time to go by, because I mean, I'm not 100% sure how much time has passed, but it sounds like this is the next day. So, but he finds, like, his wife starts asking, it's like, well, are you planting already? He's like, what are you talking about now? It's way too early to plant. She's like, well, he's like, why would you even ask that? And she's like, well, because the Scarecrow's out there. And he's like, what? He's like, so he goes to like, somehow he knows exactly where Skeeter and Philby are. He goes to the restaurant. They're having breakfast or lunch together. And he's like, this is where it's kind of funny, because he's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Now that Bubba's not around, you guys are gonna fuck with me. So it's almost like he's like admitting, it's like he had the most to lose by Bubba not being around, because like, oh wait, you were the dummy, then Bubba came along, so it sounds like, hey, everybody's leaving me alone. I'm enjoying this. Like, he's like the last guy to pull the trigger. He's like, wait, we can't kill him because then I'm the dumbest one in town. Save Bubba. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was kind of funny how he's like, oh, now you guys you don't have him to mess with, so now you're going to mess with me. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, the Scarecrow. There's a Scarecrow. They're like, we don't know what you're talking about. It's like, seriously, we have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, well, all right. So weird things keep happening. Actually, not that many weird things happen. A few weird things. It's kind of weird, because at this point they're like, uh-oh. They're acting like, uh-oh, if this keeps, you know, we're gonna get caught. We need to keep on the down low. But it's like, dude, you already didn't get caught. You guys have already gone through the system. You've already gone to court. You're already found not guilty. So why are you guys acting like you haven't gone to court yet? Because pretty much how these guys are acting, they're like, fuck, we can't we can't be seen with each other because then people are going to catch on what we did. It's like, everybody knows what you did. You got away with it. Everybody knows that. So why are you being weird? So as things happen, they're like, well, we should go talk to Otis. So they go over to, Otis is staying in like a, I don't know what it is. It's like a boarding school. You know, the room, and he's like drinking. Apparently he's a secret alcoholic. But they go and they talk to him. He's like, what? What are you talking about? I bet it's Sam. It's Sam the lawyer. He's up to it. Because he thinks we're guilty, and he's mad about how that whole thing turned out. So he's probably just trying to fuck with us. So just stay away from each other. Don't come back here again. It'll blow over. Then the next night, or that night, I'm not really sure, but there's the Halloween party. And Otis goes, and Otis cracks me up because no matter what's going on, Otis is wearing his fucking mailman uniform. It's like, it could be midnight, it could be 9 o'clock in the morning, he could be starting his shift, ending it, getting ready for bed, he probably sleeps in it. And he's like the douche because he goes to the Halloween party. He's probably like the guy who's like, oh, what are you supposed to be? I'm the mailman. I'm wearing my mailman costume for the 365th time in a row. But he finds Mary Lee, and he starts, like, asking her. He starts terrorizing her. For a guy that was worried about her safety, and now he's, like ready to kill her to save himself from going down. He's like, what's going on? What do you know? And she just kind of, like, she's like, Bubba still talks to me. He's like, what? She's like, yeah, Bubba still talks to me. He talked to me last night. And he's like, Bubba's dead. He's not talking to you. But within the next 2 days or so, like I said, I don't know what's timeline. I don't know how much time is passing. But in a short amount of time, I don't think it was the same night. I think it was 2 different nights. But mysteriously, Harless and Philby die, get killed. And for the viewer, it's like you're watching. It's like, okay, there's all. I don't know who's killing these guys, but it's definitely not an accident. And so now Otis is starting to be like, okay, something's going on. He's like, maybe Bubba is still alive. So he goes to Skeeter. He's like, Skeeter, we gotta figure out what's going on. So he takes Skeeter, and they go to Bubba's grave. And he's like, Skeeter, start digging. And I don't know, Skeeter starts digging. Otis is just like on all fours watching, just like, yeah, keep digging. Dig. And Skeeter's like, all right. Skeeter digs till he hits the clink of the casket. And then he digs a little more, and he opens it. And as a viewer, you can't see inside the casket. There might have just been like a glow coming from it, you know, like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction or the trunk in Repo Man. But by Skeeter's reaction, you can tell, like, oh shit, shit's going down. So apparently, the casket's empty. And Skeeter flips out and he runs off. He's like, oh shit. So Otis has to chase him down and bring him back. He gets him back over there and he's like trying to talk him down, and Skeeter has his back to him. So Otis takes the shovel and just cracks him in the head with it. And Skeeter down. Dead? I don't know. I'm assuming he died. He might not. I mean, he can get hit in the head with the shovel and not die. But now, Otis is the last man standing. Now, this is after... I know, I fucked up. This is shortly after Otis had visited Bubba's mom. And he went over there to try and get some answers. He's like, all right, people keep dying. He's like, I was okay with Harless dying. You know, eye for an eye, now we're even. But then you killed Philby. And she's looking at him like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, first of all, none of your stupid friends are going to make it even that you killed my son. Second of all, I'm not running around killing people. And like somehow she dies. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or wasn't clear, but she dies and he's kind of like, oh shit. And he actually has a conscience for a second. He's like, uh-oh. So he tries to get out of there and he trips. And as he trips and he's getting up, he like trips and knocks over a table. So it's like, well, now it looks like there was a scuffle. As he's getting up, the tea kettle starts he goes off. And he's like, oh, wait a minute, gas grill, fireplace on. So he turns on another burner, and he just gets the fuck out of there. And it's just a matter of time before that gas hits the fire in the fireplace. And he blows her house up, along with any evidence that he was there, that he killed her, how she died, any of that. And he's off the hook. So after he kills Skeeter, he's got his little bottle of whatever the hell he's drinking, and he's driving. And I think he's getting a little hammered. And he's driving along, and then he sees Marilee. Marilee's out running around. And so he tries to follow her. He ends up crashing his mail truck. But he's fine. Drunk drivers never die. And he gets out, and he starts chasing her. And they get to the pumpkin patch, which is kind of weird because, like, when I was Marilee's age, however old she was, going to a pumpkin patch like that by myself, where there might be a scarecrow or whatever, would have scared the shit out of me. But she's okay with it. Makes you wonder what's wrong with her. But he chases her, and he catches her. And then there's a tractor. Before he can do anything to her, there's a tractor, and the lights turn on, and the engine starts, and he's like, he can't see who's driving, but he assumes he's back to assuming Sam's behind it. And he's like, what? He starts talking, but then the tractor starts coming after him, so he's like, oh shit. So he turns around, and he starts running, and the tractor's just following him. The tractor's not even going that fast. And he's hauling ass. He's an overweight 60-year-old. And the tractor just it's almost like that Austin Powers moment, steamroller moment, where it's like, the guy's like, ah, and he won't move. But it's like, okay, it's like, first of all, it's a tractor. It's going about this fast. You're running as fast as you can, but like, why are you running in a straight line? Take a left or a right. This thing it's slow and it can't maneuver very well. But he keeps running straight, and he runs and he runs and he runs until finally there's the Scarecrow on its post, and he runs into it, and it's kind of off camera, so you just see him run into it, and he looks up like kind of horrified, and then blood comes out of his mouth, and he backs up. It turns out he's run into the pitchfork that the Scarecrow's holding. The pitchfork that he planted. And apparently, I don't know who's driving the tractor, but Bubba's the Scarecrow, and Marilee's like, hi, Bubba. And Otis falls down dead from his own evil stupidity. And that's the end. There was kind of a missed opportunity in this movie, a plot twist that could have happened. Because in Otis's George Zimmerman-like prejudice against the mentally challenged, who he leads a witch hunt to kill. Then he kills Bubba's mom. And then he kills Skeeter later, but we don't see who killed Philby or Harless. So what if it was him all along? Because back in the day, like mass shooters, we used to call them postal workers. And it happened frequently. I did a little research, and it turns out there were postal shootings in the 70s and the 80s. It got really popular in the late 80s, early 90s. But there was at least three in 2017. They used to call that going postal. I don't know if anybody says that anymore. It would have made sense for him to have just flipped out and gone on a killing spree, but in the process framing Bubba's ghost for it. But it turns out, even crazier, Bubba's ghost was really doing it. This film also depicts people in power. They can harness that power and demonize individuals or groups, and they can use that to get everybody on their side and trick people into thinking things are bad. But it was his bad intentions that eventually did him in.
The Gilligan Award goes to Otis because he's prejudiced. And he had power. And he couldn't just leave Bubba alone. So fuck Otis. This whole thing is his fault. Survival tips! Don't trespass on other people's property. Don't drink and drive. And don't kill innocent, unarmed people. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. And share it. I've been busy. I'm in the process of moving, so I didn't have time to give this video the royal treatment, but I still wanted to get it out there for you. Thanks. See you next time.